Well, after taking a week off to celebrate Canada's 150th birthday, the teams were back on the pitch. All the action is coming right up. This is CAF TV. Welcome, everybody. Fireworks of a different sort last weekend as some incredible games went down, and we will have all the highlights for you. Also, CAQ Academy has been setting the pace in the under-13 supergroup, and we will have two of their star players in studio today to talk about the program. That's coming up later on, but first, BioSteel game highlights, and no question about it, this was the game of the week between two programs led by local soccer legends. Kevin DeSerpa's Jenga Academy and Juan Barreto's Brampton City went toe-to-toe on Sunday in the under-13 group. Now, the goals came fast and furious. Words don't do this game justice, so let's go right to the video evidence. CAF game highlights now brought to you by BioSteel Sports Nutrition. BioSteel, drink the pink. Now, right after this game, Jenga was heading to the airport to catch a flight to Barcelona for a tournament, but they had no trouble keeping their mind on this game, apparently. Great start, 18th minute, scramble in the box, Brampton can't clear. Jaden Backman makes him pay, and the boys from KW go up 1-0. 11 minutes later, though, City free kick. Check out the header by Nicholas Hobinka. That is world class, and it's all knotted up at one apiece. Hobinka put on a standout performance in this game. 36 minute, all kinds of pinball being played around the Jenga box here. And finally, Hobinka says, to heck with this, just hammers it home. And it's 2-0 for Brampton City United. Things got crazy in the second half. Back and forth they went. This was a beauty. Jenga on the attack. Watch Caleb Kuno go to work here. Spots Dylan Aziz out front, who sacrifices his body to put it home. And it's back to square one, all tied up at 2 apiece. And then more from Jenga. Off the corner kick here, the ball takes a ricochet in the box. Kuno right there to slam it home. And as Jenga back out front, up 3-2, but soon after, it's Hobinka going back to work, collecting here, and putting it home. The hat trick for the young striker, and it's even Steven, a 3-3 soccer game. Neither team was done scoring, though. 72nd minute, Ali Saeed, and this is just sweet as he puts it in. 4-3 Jenga, and the celebration, but a little premature as it turned out, with just 3 minutes remaining in the game. Everyone seems to ignore Aiden Johnson. Big mistake. The late equalizer for City to make it 4-4, and that is how this one finished up. Back and forth the whole way. One thing both teams could agree on was that it was one heck of a fantastic soccer game.
I think it was a good game. I felt like we should have been a little bit better defensively, but I think offense we did pretty well. Teams put a lot of pressure, and it was really close in the end. Any team could have won.
I think we played good. We were doing creative stuff. Ali, he chipped the keeper. We were playing a lot in the box, or like doing 1-2s around the box. We were very calm, and we did a good game.
The boys from Canadian SC were back at it on Saturday. Still searching for their first win in the CAF Under-20 Supergroup. Now, 2 weeks ago, they were oh so close, leading Chantilly until the boys from Hamilton staged a dramatic late comeback to steal 3 points from them. But hope springs eternal, and they had another shot at that elusive W against Toronto Fusion. Just hard luck for Canadian SC all season, and unfortunately for them, it would continue in this game, but it started off great. 8th minute, Adrian Garcia gets harassed in the penalty area, and the official wastes no time in blowing his whistle. Santiago Velasquez on the spot. He makes no mistake, and Canadian up early 1-0. Second half, though, Fusion gets it back. Michael Thornton turning on the Jets here with a nice run. He slides it home, then Fusion ties it up. It's 1-1, and you know, Thornton just took over this game at times. 6 minutes later, he blows by the Canadian defender, and boom, will smash it home. There it is, and Toronto takes the advantage, and they lead 2-1. Canadian come close off a free kick soon after, but the Velasquez header will slide just wide. Fusion trying to add some insurance, but Nicholas Vetkovic coming up huge in goal for Canadian. First, he robs Thornton from in tight right there, actually with his legs. Nice stop. And then soon after, he victimizes Thornton once again to keep the deficit at 1. So nice stops by the keeper. Unfortunately for Canadian, that's as close as they would get on this day as Fusion holds on for the 2-1 victory. Welcome back to CAF TV. Toronto Youth Football Academy has been laying down the law in the under-20 supergroup thus far. Now, through 3 games heading into last weekend, they sported a pristine 3-0 record, racking up 20 goals in the process while conceding just 2. Dominance, thy name is TYFC. Now, Chantilly, on the other hand, found themselves much further down in the standings. But for a good portion of the contest on Saturday, they were doing a good job of hanging with the big boys. And you got to hand it to Chantilly. For most of the first half, they were right there with them. 42nd minute, though, off the corner kick, Jonathan Puzzo somehow gets a foot on that one. Absolutely gorgeous. And it was 1-0 for Toronto Youth. Second half, the floodgates opened. The sloppy clearance attempt by Chantilly here. Basile Montagnez tattoos at home, and it's 2-0 TYFC. 8 minutes later, all kinds of trouble in the 18-yard box for Chantilly, and then pretty lax defending on Daniel Rose. Ouch. TYFC now up by 3, and they would make it 4 off the sick free kick by Richie Ennin. What a strike. 4-0 TYFC through 61 minutes. And they would add to it further. One of the goals of the week here, Ennin to Gianpiero Sansonetti. Pure dominance by Toronto Youth. 5-0 your final. Afterwards, Marco Panozzo explained how his team picked up their play after a slow start.
Yeah, you know, we just couldn't get anything really going. We were playing too slow in the final third, but by the second half, we just kept moving it better and stuff. And we had some finishes, so it worked out well for us in the end.
Burlington Academy and One Touch Soccer have had an interesting dynamic so far in the under-13 supergroup. Now, in week 1, OTS smoked Burlington 8-0. In their second encounter, B-Town upped its game, but ultimately they still fell short by a 3-0 count. On Sunday, they showed OTS the gap is now completely closed. Burlington has been getting closer and closer to OTS each time they play, but One Touch jumps out to the early lead again in this one. 5 minutes in, Mason Petrucci, nice run, and the boys from Hamilton go up by a 1-0 count. Burlington evens it late in the half, though. Bastan Shurko, like the Energizer Bunny, just keeps going and going. The ball takes a wicked deflection up, over, and in it goes. He'll take it, and it's 1-1. The player of the game was Thomas Noonan in goal for Burlington. He had a few big saves. Here he robs Blake Ellis in the 38th minute. Second half, Noonan continues to shine. Christian Kazishin breaking in, but Noonan says no, as he makes a big save, giving his squad a chance to take the lead. And that's exactly what they did in the 49th minute. One Touch will give it away right here. Medi Othello to Rodrigo Vergara. He pokes it home, and you've come a long way, boys. Burlington on the verge of beating its nemesis. And Noonan providing late heroics here as Kazishin charges in. Sublime save by the keeper, though, who gets big love from his teammates, rightly so, afterwards. But in the game's dying seconds, literally just before the final whistle, the OTS player gets chopped down in the box. Number 2, not listed on the game sheet, but number 2 anyway, slams it home to salvage a late tie for OTS. Great game. Afterwards, Burlington keeper hero Thomas Noonan stopped by to talk about his team's improved play as the season has progressed.
We're getting into the season, and I think we're getting some momentum going, and hopefully we can keep it up. Well, we did the best we could. We had some very good defense. They really pushed on offense. It was very difficult, but I made some saves, and I had a lot of goal line saves from fellow defenders, but we did the best we could.
Okay, a battle of two undefeated teams in the under-20 group, Mississauga and TYFC. This was another great game. Toronto strikes first, great feed, one-timer, money, and TYFC leads 1-0. Soon after, Richie Ennin upended inside the 18. Ennin on the spot is about as much of a sure thing as you're going to get. No problem. Toronto Youth goes up by a deuce. It's 2-0. Mississauga making a game of it, though. Number 16, not on the game sheet. I think it's Caleb Washington, though. Nice goal. Missy cuts the lead in half to 2-1. And they would knot it up. The long free kick here in the 40th minute. The ball drops right to Rashawn Walks, who slots it home. And the comeback is complete. Mississauga makes it a 2-2 game. Second half, Toronto would get the winner in the driving rain. Great run by Richie Ennin to Taesung Park. And TYFC takes the 3-2 lead. They would add one more to make it 4. And then Sebastian Zabalos shut the door the rest of the way to seal the deal for Toronto. 4-2 final. Okay, a reminder, the BioSteel Canada Cup is coming up August 5th through the 7th in Toronto. It's going to be a fantastic event. And remember, the under-16 group final to be played at BMO Field. It's going to be huge. BioSteelCanadaCup.com for more information. Welcome back to CAF Television. I'm pleased to be joined in the studio here by the boys from CAQ. And let's see if I can get this out without us all laughing too much. We do have Sebastian Tomczyk.
Yes.
That one was the easy one. And Kabir Chahal.
Yes.
Yeah, he's so proud of me that I actually got it right. 5 tries before we went on air here. Guys, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, pretty good season so far, I'd say, for you guys. You've been the class of the under-13 group so far. Before we get into the season and everything, maybe just talk a little bit about CAQ. Just who wants to tell us about the program? You're going to take it away? Okay. Tell us about CAQ, where you guys are located as well.
CAQ is like it's a good academy. It's in Mississauga, and like we do trainings like we don't have like a specific home field or anything. We just like scatter around it like all over Mississauga and stuff. Yeah. And how do you guys like playing for it so far? Oh, it's great. How long have you been with the academy for? I've been training with Carlos before he had the academy starting, just with training he used to do before the academy when I was like 7, 8 years old. And then a year after he started the academy, I joined. So I've been on the academy for 2 years now. Right. And you've been for I think about 2.5 years. For 2.5 years, so you're a grizzled veteran now. But the academy. I guess you could say that. You can say that. Okay, Sebastian, so you were going to tell us about, on the website, it says one of the things about CAQ is Carlos, of course, who we're going to get to in a moment, is from Argentina. And CAQ teaches the South American style of play. So for those who might not understand off the top of their head what that is, tell us about how you guys are taught then.
The way we play, it's a lot of passing and movement, a lot of movement off the ball, moving into space, sort of moving the opposition as we pass it around. Yeah. And then we might play a couple long balls like wing backs or forwards. But a lot of it is passing and moving into open space. Passing and moving, yeah. Yeah, and your coach, Carlos, is, as I mentioned, from Argentina. Nice. A former professional player, exceptional background. And you were going to tell us a bit about Carlos then. Yeah, Carlos was a professional in Argentina, and he was a forward, left winger. And whenever he like trains us or anything, he always like uses his like personal experience to teach us and to like show us that he's done it as well. So like we understand him more when he's trying to explain it to us, because let's say he's give us an example of when he stops the game and gives us an example of, oh, you should do this instead of this. He gives us a personal experience when he was younger, so we understand like how he's trying to explain it to us. Right. The scouting report on you, Sebastian, that I received was that you're one of the quickest players around. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask Kabir to give us the scouting report on you. So what would you say about your teammate here? I think he's the fastest on our team, and as a fullback, that's actually quite helpful, right, which is good. And when he's running up down the field, like if you give him a long ball, he'll get there. It's just, you can rely on him. He's good right back. And center back is really strong as well. Really? Okay. Like, who's your favorite player? Who's my favorite player? Yeah. I don't know. I like Ronaldo, but it doesn't really translate to my position. It's a bit far-fetched, but yeah, I like Ronaldo.
A bit far-fetched. You'll get there eventually, I'm sure. Okay, so now it's your turn. Let's flip the script here, and you're going to give us a scouting report on Kabir. What would you say?
I think it's really good that we have Kabir because he sort of controls the midfield. He's strong. He's got really good ball work. He's got good footwork. His passing is great. So when I'm running up the wing, he's always giving me good balls. It's just really fun to work with him.
Right, and you actually have had some pretty good experiences over the last year. You were part of CAF United, part of the CAF All-Star team, and one of the tournaments that you ended up going to was to Dubai for the International Cup. So tell us a bit about that and what that experience was like.
It was a great experience to see all those European teams and how they play. It's quite different from Canada because not all of them they all have like a similar style to play out from the back and keep possession. It's similar to what Carlos likes to do with us. And to see the Real Madrid, AC Milan, Celta Vigo play is really good. Even the team from Africa was really good. Right. They made it to the semifinals. Was it eye-opening, so to speak, for you to see the level of play of these guys? Yeah. Yeah. Also because I played in a different position in Dubai. I played center back, and it was quite difficult to play against those quick strikers.
We've seen some of the training videos online. You guys are nice enough to post actually quite a bit of their stuff to show what you guys go through with Coach Carlos. So take us through it. Tell us just a little bit about CAQ and what kind of stuff they have you do for training drills.
What are you doing?
Sure. So a lot of the time we work on our fitness and our physicality so that we're able to last the full 80 minutes or however long our games are without too much fatigue. Right. We work on like controlling the ball and having like a good touch on the ball because that's always useful in a game. Yeah,
well, you know what, you guys are having an exceptional season so far. Obviously the training's paying off. We've got just a few seconds here, but I just want to ask you guys, how are you enjoying the CAF experience so far?
I think the CAF this year, the Super Group is amazing because the teams in Europe and in Dubai when I went there, they were doing the same thing, walking out of the field, and the same thing as the Super Group's doing. Right. It's amazing because it's treating us like young professionals, and we'll get used to that when you get older. Well,
you guys have been a lot of fun to watch so far. Thank you for coming in, both you guys. And it's caqsoccer.net if people want to find out more about it. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. Guys, thank you for being here. Okay, more CAF TV coming up in just a moment. Welcome back to CAF TV. To the open group we move now, and after a slow start to the season, Toronto, Croatia appeared to be getting things going. After failing to notch a win in its first two games, they bounced back in style 2 weeks ago as they grabbed their first W against Toronto United. But keeping that momentum going was going to be a difficult task on Sunday as they faced undefeated division leaders Toronto Atomic. Two rivals who know each other very well from playing in various leagues over the last few years. Croatia strikes first, and as it turned out, it would be all they need. The cross comes in, keeper can't hang on. Mateo Bezlic puts home the gift, and the Croats were up 1-0. Atomic just couldn't find its scoring touch on this night. Eduardo Sanchez, golden chance. He skies it though, and then late in the half, it's Sanchez again. A better effort this time. Faris Efendic makes the stop though. Afterwards, Bezlic stopped by to chat.
Well, we score against in one action, very good. Couple passes on one side. After that, cross and goalie tried to push ball, but I came first and score. After that, there a couple chances, and that's it.
Okay, Rise SC taking on Mississauga United. Rise only had 10 men for the game, but early on, it didn't seem to matter one bit. It'll be Andrew Mowat finishing it off out front, and it's 1-0 Rise, and then it's Mowat sneaking past the United back line, and he notches his second, and short-handed Rise looked like they're going to pull off the upset, but then fatigue may have played a factor. This was funny. Tala Ali told cameraman Joe Montezano to watch for him because he was going to score. He guaranteed it, and Ali makes good on the promise, and then for good measure points to Joe and says, "I told you so." Like Babe Ruth calling his shot. Love it. Second half, United would knot it up. Tariq Hanifi to Hazan Falzai, and he makes it 2-2, and then Andres Ocampo He will put it home, and Mississauga leads Rush by a 3-2 count. But you've got to hand it to Rise. Down a man, exhausted. They find a way to get it through. Sajari chips it up over and in. That was the tying goal. It ended 3-3. Afterwards, Andrew Mowat loved the way his team fought through adversity and found its second win to get a point.
The game today was a tough game. We fight to the end with 10 guys and get a draw, 3-3. Although it was our game when we were ticking, tacking the ball all around. But when we start playing their type of ball game, we get caught up and give them 3 goals. But after our coach talked to us, we came back, hard fight, and draw the game, you know, with no subs. So it was a good fight for our game, for our guys.
Okay, one more for you. The Clarkson Pump. They have really good chicken wings, actually. Taking on Toronto United. United gets it going. The goal of the week here, Marco Rodriguez. Picture perfect. What a strike. And Toronto leads 1-0, and they would make it 2. Nicholas Lopez fights off his man, slides it home, and that would make it 2-0 for United. Cue the comeback for Clarkson, though, in the second half. Austin Bryan, more moves than Hugh Hefner, feeds Riley Patrick, and the deficit is cut in half to 2-1, and then Bryan tries his luck from close to 30 yards out here. The keeper doesn't pick it up in time. In it goes, and Clarkson knocks things up. It's 2 apiece, and then they nab the winner. Wait for it. Wait for it as our cameraman catches up, and there it is. Nick Meja, the decider. Clarkson rapidly improving. 2 wins in a row for them now. Austin Bryan stopped by afterwards to have a chat.
Yeah, we got off to a bad start, but we pulled through in the end. We got the result. We came together as a team. That's all that matters. You know, I just got the ball. I knew we needed the 3 points today, so I knew I had to make an influence, make a change to the game. And it's always nice to get the 3 points. The whole team had a big impact. Okay,
the CAF countdown for this week. Top 5 plays of the week. Number 5, Jinga on the attack against Brampton City. Caleb Kuno to Dylan Aziz. Great pass, great finish by the Jinga boys. Number 4, Burlington's Thomas Noonan was outstanding against OTS. Huge stop here late in the game, and then he gets some love from his teammates, rightly so. Number 3, Toronto Youth against Chantilly. Richie Ennin to Gianpero Sansonetti. Great pass, great finish. And number 2, TYFC's Jonathan Puzzo with the wonder strike in the same game. Take another look as he just sort of gets his heel on it. And that is absolutely gorgeous. And number 1, tough to argue against this one, Toronto United's Marco Rodriguez from another area code against Clarkson. Tucks it under the bar. Take another peek. The keeper out of position, no doubt, but that placement is utter perfection. And that is definitely our CAF play of the week. And that's all the time we've got for this week. Just remember, though, you can always head to cafsoccer.com to keep up to date regarding all the events in the Canadian Academy of Football. And, of course, all the social media outlets are there for you to check out as well. Thank you so much for watching, folks. We'll see you next week for more CAF TV.